There are very few things that feel better than Counter-Strike's gunplay, and at least 2 of them involve unboxing an expensive skin. If you haven't got a knife from a case yet, we are certain it's in your next one. However, this is not financial advice. However, if you had a knife on CSGO, you might have noticed that it's worth more money now than it was before. So about supply and demand, I don't know. I just need to know that I'm now rich. Pour one out for your mate who stopped playing CSGO, sold his butterfly knife fade, and now wants to come back to CS2. How much did he miss out on? About a year ago, you could have picked up a Minware butterfly knife fade for about $1,950. Admittedly, that is at about its lowest point in the last 12 months, but if you'd bought the dip, you'd be up almost $2,000 at the peak. That's just over double the price for those of you who didn't do well at maths. However, right now it's back down to a measly $3,000. An $1,100 or 58% increase from the lowest point, but around $900 or 23% down from the $3,900 it was at its peak. That means that during the CS2 beta and the hype of the game coming out, we saw an almost 100% increase in price for the butterfly knife, and then a noticeable but not insane decrease on full release. So does that track for other skins? On the budget side, a field-tested AK-47 Redline would have set you back somewhere in the region of $6 to $7 at the lowest point, all the way up to an eye-watering $24 at the highest, before trending downwards towards $13.50 now. Essentially, it quadrupled in price between the lowest and the highest point, but now sits in the middle of them. Within the last 30 days, though, it has been quite stable, fluctuating between $13 and $17, but generally sitting around $15. The pattern we observed with the butterfly knife seems to fit this too. For a medium budget option, we looked at the ARABESQUE Untitled. We use medium budget very liberally there. Try explaining to your real life friends that you spent nearly $300 on an in-game cosmetic item and see what they think. The fact that spending $300 on some pixels is medium range should tell you everything about where we've gotten to. This one, the field-tested Untitled, had a similar pattern but a smaller swing. It varied from $210 to $384, now sitting at $295. So we decided to look at another option under $200 and saw something similar. The USPS target acquired doubled in price over the year, but has dropped nearly 40% since then, going from $95 to $195 and now costing up $165. Now that you know quite how much you've made or lost, we can start to dissect the reasons. CS2 hype at the time of announcement was insane. Suddenly, people who haven't played the game in years wanted to come back. People who'd never played the game wanted to experience the next generation of Counter-Strike, and were flocking to it. That hype was something CS hasn't had in years, and the demand for skins went through the roof. Anyone who has ever invested in something before, though, knows about 2 very important rules. Number 1, profit is profit, so take it when it comes. Secondly, the hype is usually more valuable than the crescendo. Everyone expects the big release to be when they should sell, so people keep buying until the game comes out, and then they all try to sell when the hype is, in theory, at its peak. Of course, if everyone thinks this, it won't work, and if you sold in the pre-release hype, you probably made bank. Couple that with the fact that the game's full release was, a little anticlimactic, especially for the more casual audience who lost many of the 4 fun modes, and those who thought that the skins that were buying would make them get out of 7k elo aren't having that much fun. Also, a lot of people have already bought stuff. Another reason prices rose to unsustainable levels was that the new engine means a lot of skins look even tastier than before. The new lighting makes your shiny DOPPLER knives and lightning strike orbs so much sexier, and that drives up the price. A lot of massive streamers, both in the West but also in China, unboxed some crazy shit in the first few days, and this drove a lot of people to open cases. But this could also be the reason things have started to fall off. Let me explain. A lot of creators are opening cases, and the cases become more desirable, but due to the new drop system, some are expecting fewer cases to drop, and therefore hoarding cases. This added supply of skins from open cases and lower supply of cases as they get stored in storage boxes around the world means that skins have gone down in the last month and cases have gone up. People are still buying, they're just changing what they're buying. It's unlikely we'll ever see prices back at CSGO levels though. The crazy influx of supply, skin betting sites being banned, and the 7-day trade ban means skins are less liquid and don't sell as much, i.e. lower supply. Similarly, with Chinese New Year coming up, there's often a noticeable uptick in skin prices when Chinese gamers get their red envelopes. This isn't some weird joke, this is actually kind of true. Trade-up contracts mean that some skins will always stay high, as they can always be used to make even sexier special skins. While most of the market is trending down, as we mentioned, para stickers are now going up. Now the sale is finally finished, people are panic buying. Well, we might call it panic buying, but when they're worth $50 in a month, won't we look stupid? So, what should you do? Outside of the obvious just unbox a knife forehead, our advice is to buy skins that you like, or don't buy any at all, or buy some sort of weird skin and hope a pro uses it. Do you remember when Simple used a Nomad knife for an event and its price literally tripled? It's not something you can predict, and as much as we can talk about the reasons the market went up and then down, we can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. And if we could, we'd probably use that to make lots of money instead of a YouTube video. No offense or anything, but